Welcome back to my channel. Today we're just gonna do a get ready with me and try on haul with Lululemon, stuff like that. Okay. My beauty routine is pretty simple. I don't do anything extravagant. I'm currently breaking out a lot due to my hormones acting up since my miscarriage. But this topic is going to be basically my experience going through the miscarriage and how it's been like for me and Chad. So I'm 25, he's 26, I'm about to be 26 in December, and we've always wanted to be like, parents and stuff, so we're trying, after, a year and a half of marriage, we're trying to have a baby, and we were trying for a very long time, I would say, in my opinion, but I know a lot of people have been trying way longer than I have and had no positive experience out of it. But, so we were trying for about, I would say, a year, and I wasn't getting pregnant, whatever, so then I made a infertility appointment here in Charleston, and the wait list was like until September, whatever, of this year, 2022, and obviously we're in October, almost November, so I had 2 miscarriages since, we were trying, and so I first found out my first pregnancy back in May, and we were both super excited, and there's like this thing where it's like, you don't tell anybody that you're pregnant until after your 3rd trimester, obviously. I didn't really not care about it, but I was like, whatever. I was like, I don't think anything's gonna happen, whatever, because I just don't think that way, if that makes sense. I was just so happy that I got pregnant, whatever, and we were pregnant and whatever, and so I told my family, told my friends, like my best friends back home, everybody told his family. We were just both so excited about it. We already have names picked out for both, for a boy and a girl, and so yeah, it definitely hurt, going through that, but we obviously both had healed from, I feel like now at this point, just accepted the fact that we are the percentage that would have to, be more cautious and try a little harder to, stay pregnant, whatever, and everything. So anyway, so then I was pregnant about, when I was 5 weeks, and then I went to get my ultrasound at, in my hometown in Georgia, and I saw that there was a tiny sag, but there was nothing in there, but it was just so early that they couldn't really tell anything that's gonna be in there, but they I felt like they were hinting if I ever felt any pain or anything like that, to call my doctor or whatever and stuff. So I feel like they knew maybe I was going to have a miscarriage, but didn't say, so it definitely hurt. So then I was continuing to be pregnant for another 3 weeks, and then boom, it happened. I started spotting. At first it was very light, so I looked it up, and I thought it was implantation bleeding, but no, it was, so that's what I thought for the first couple of days. Then next thing you know, I started having cramps, and it's starting to get severe as the days go on. And I was at home one day, and my husband was working night shift, So I was at home one day sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden, like, I just felt like this severe abdominal pain, and I was just like, oh my god. I was like, what's going on, whatever. Like, this was my first pregnancy. Like, I did not know what to really expect. And so I was like sitting in the toilet, and I was like literally going through a miscarriage. And at that point, when I was in that severe of pain, I knew that that had to be it, because I was like, then all of a sudden I was like gushing out blood. Like, I was bleeding like crazy, whatever. And yeah, so very traumatic time in my life. Like, my whole back was sweating, everything. And so I literally knew from then that I was going through it, and it was very an emotional time for me, whatever, because one, I obviously thought, I felt like I was gonna die, whatever, because I'm dramatic. But so I called the ambulance and yeah, and they came, and then immediately, not going to lie, when they came, everything stopped hurting, and I think that's when it was like past. But I wasn't sure, like, you know, what to expect, because that was my first like pregnancy. And so yeah, so, and my dog was with me the whole time. He's just always by my side. But anyway, so yeah, when I got to the hospital, they like drew my blood, whatever, everything. And this was like, by this time, it was my second time in the ER. Like, I went to the ER the day before because I noticed like I was spotting more. And online it said if you were spotting more, you need to like go to the ER or whatever. So that's what I just did, whatever, to see if I can like prevent it from keep happening. Obviously, that's not the case, whatever. So it's like, when I went my first time to the ER, they were saying that this is like a possible miscarriage, whatever. I can't think of the terminology. But yeah, so then they couldn't really do anything about it for me. And they were just saying keep watch of it. So obviously the second day when I came back, it was confirmed that like I was going through a miscarriage. They drew my blood again, so like for 2 days straight I was like getting my blood drawn, whatever, and IV poking me and everything. And I have like little itty bitty veins, so that really hurt and everything. And I was like just crying all day, crying all night there. It's very emotional. And then like everybody there was like very nice, and you know, just being kind of like supportive in a way, like it's not your fault, whatever. And honestly, now I can say that, you know, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, and it's all in like God's timing. And I really had like a touch base more, I felt like, with God, if that makes sense. And so anyway, so after that, whenever my HCG levels was going down. It was not supposed to go down. Like, each day you're supposed to, when you get pregnant, your HCG level is supposed to go up, like, each week, I believe, in each day. So it was supposed to be like 10 times more than what it was. So yeah, I was definitely going through that. And it was a very emotional process for both me and Chad. I mean, obviously this is not something we wanted. We wanted, you know, something healthy, and it didn't happen, and we're learning to accept that, whatever, and move forward. So obviously then I made an appointment with my OBGYN a couple weeks later, and she advised that, like, you know, we at least gave 3 months before trying to get pregnant again. Well, that didn't happen. We got pregnant literally a week after my first miscarriage, and I found out on so my first miscarriage was, I found out I was pregnant in May on Memorial Weekend. Then I got a miscarriage in July, like the beginning of July. And then I I had a miscarriage in July, so it wasn't a week, so I got it, yeah, so I don't know. So okay, so I had a miscarriage in July. Then on Labor Day weekend, I found out I was pregnant again. And I don't know how long I was, but I mean, it couldn't be that long, but I know it was longer than my first pregnancy. So I found out I was pregnant. This time I felt like I had all the symptoms. Like, I was throwing up in the morning, everything, like the whole night. The first pregnancy, I didn't feel that. This time I did. So I thought this time it was gonna stick. So, you know, everything was fine. I told my coworkers, because I work as a dental assistant, I had to tell them, like, you know, I was pregnant, because I work with, like, x-rays and all that stuff every day. So I was fine with telling them about it, and they were very supportive and everything and encouraging, and I honestly felt like this time it was going to stick because of all the symptoms I was having versus the first one. So then fast forward last week, whatever, I had a second miscarriage again, and I found out at my first ultrasound visit, and I kind of knew it was going to be a miscarriage because the day before, literally, I noticed spotting, and it wasn't light spotting, it was like dark. So I honestly had a really like emotional time before my first ultrasound again, like for my second pregnancy. So when I went to my second pregnancy, I already knew that I was gonna have a miscarriage. When she pulled up when she did the vaginal ultrasound, whatever, I saw like this big blob, whatever, and it was dark, and I was kind of scared. I didn't know what it was, whatever, and everything. I figured it was just like the sac, but I didn't see anything in it. So the ultrasound tech said she didn't see anything, whatever, but she said she's gonna let my doctor tell me like what she sees. So I waited to see what my doctor, but I already knew. Like, I kind of like, when I went back into the waiting room, I kind of like looked it up, and it was a basically a belated miscarriage, whatever. And so when she came back in the room, I already knew what she was going to say. So she told me it was belated miscarriage, whatever. There was a sac, but there's no embryo in it. And she believed that what happened was that there was an embryo, but it got absorbed because it stopped growing in my sac. So it got absorbed in the sac, and my body thinks I'm still pregnant, whatever. So I continue to have the symptoms and everything, and also she told me, like, you know, it's not my fault, there's nothing like I could do about the miscarriage, whatever, and stuff like that. And she just believed that it's just a chromosome issue in the first, like, you know, trimester, why I'm going through it. And she was saying that also, like, I didn't wait 3 months to get pregnant again, so my body didn't fully heal from my first pregnancy. So yeah, so it was an emotional time for me and Chad. I had a really bad breakdown and everything, and because we were going through it again, my doctor just prescribed me these pills, whatever, for me to take at home to just like let the miscarriage pass, whatever, and go through on its own. And so yesterday I went to my ultrasound, my second ultrasound, and everything has passed. So, you know, everything's back to normal, whatever, and stuff like that. I'm still kind of bleeding, but it's not as, like, you know, heavy as when I was going through all that. But basically, me and Chad both had talked about, like, you know, after going through 2 miscarriages and everything, like, we have a whole different perspective for, you know, women that are pregnant, whatever, pregnancy in general, and anybody that's going through miscarriages and stuff like that. And if you are going through a miscarriage, you're not alone. Like, you know, I'm been there, whatever, twice now. And so from now, I'm just gonna like let my body heal, whatever, and just, you know, give it a break for probably a year, honestly. Like, we have talked about that, and we're probably gonna try again next year, but I'm gonna try to be positive about it. And at least I know that I can get pregnant, because at first, for the longest time, I didn't think that I could. So, but I don't know. But if we do go through it again, you know, we're just gonna have a positive outlook and just see what, you know, my doctor can do for us, whatever, and stuff like that. Like, we have so much technology nowadays, so it's not like how it is years ago. So I am grateful and thankful for that, but I did have to learn to accept that, you know, miscarriage happens to everybody, and not everybody, but, like, you know, there's a lot of people out there that go through it, and I'm not, like, the only one. And I had to learn that, like, I have to accept that I'm the percentage that have to try harder to get pregnant and like to have a healthy pregnancy, and that's fine. So I feel like having your faith and like believing God and like, you know, just believing in God's timing, it will work out. So that's what me and Chad just been going through, and like just having a positive outlook and praying about our journey, and you know, just being happy and going from there. But yeah, so that's my pregnancy journey. I'm not gonna give up, but I'm definitely gonna give it a break for right now. And if you're going through it alone, like, you're not alone. Like, there's so many people out there that goes through it, and like there's so many support, like, you know, that you can get, like counseling, all that stuff. But yes, so if you're going through it, don't give up either. So this is how it looks on me. Super cute. I love it. This is the back. It's a little long though. I'm like only 5 feet, so maybe I should have got like a shorter size or something. But yeah, super comfy. I'm obsessed. So anyways, but that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for coming to my little talk about miscarriage and everything. If you like my video, please like and subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys in my next video.